Shark finning is the slaughter of sharks for the purpose of harvesting their fins. This extremely brutal act is done by taking the shark out of the water, cutting off their fins while they're still alive, and then they're tossed overboard to save room for more shark fins to be harvested. The sharks are left to drown, bleed to death, or be eaten by other fish. This process for harvesting shark fins is extremely wasteful, as the fins account for 5% of the shark's body weight, and the rest is discarded. 90 million to 100 million sharks are harvested for their fins every year, and at this rate, sharks will be extinct in about 10 years. As sharks are the most important predator in the oceans, their absence will cause the ecosystem in the ocean to go through drastic change, and environmentalists believe that this might actually lead to a collapse in the ocean's food chain, leading to disastrous consequences for human beings. Keeping in mind the brutality with which sharks are killed, and the impact of overfishing on our future, we have to make sure that shark populations survive and eventually thrive.
So the obvious question now is why? Why are these sharks being killed, and what are they being killed for? The main buyers for fins are high-end restaurants that serve shark fin soup. The fin itself adds no nutritional value or flavor to the soup. Its only purpose is to add a velvety texture and demonstrate the wealth and status of the consumer. The consumption of shark fin has no apparent benefit to human beings. More importantly, what gives us the divine right to massacre the species? Sharks are one of the oldest species on the planet, and the entire food chain in the ocean relies on them. Therefore, we propose a ban on the sale and consumption of shark fin in Canada and eventually the world.
I disagree with shark finning. I don't think it's fair for us to be able to just harvest the shark's fins and leave them to die. And I don't think that any culture has the right to do that, especially if it's going to have an extremely large capacity on the ecosystem and ocean systems in general. And I don't agree with it at all. I think it's terrible. I think that we should have a ban on the consumption of and sale of shark fins. I think that putting a tax on the shark fin soup and the consumption of that is not enough for us to be able to stop this. I think that it needs to be completely banned if we want to be able to save the sharks so they don't go extinct.
How do you feel about shark finning?
More against it than for it. I think Chinese culture can survive without eating shark fin, and I don't think it's right that we are killing the species just for food.
Cool. How would you feel about a ban on the consumption of shark fin in British Columbia?
I think the ban would be a good thing. The basic bottom line of that is I think what gives us the right to extinct an entire species just for soup.
Good point.